Teresa Stefano from Teresa Stamps for Joy. Today I'm featuring the Daisy Lane stamp set. It's a cute card and I hope you enjoy it. So come stamp with me. Okay, so here's the card we're going to make today. And we're going to use the Lane stamp set. We're going to use the tailored tag punch. And we're going to use the medium daisy punch, along with Pretty Peacock ink and Coastal Cabana. So let me show you the card up closer. Can you see it? Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so just a little cheery card, sending positive thoughts and feel-good wishes. Okay. Is what I put on the inside of this. Now you can use just this one stamp set and use the sentiments from here. So this is what we're going to do for when we make this card. The sentiment that I have on in this one is from the Positive Thoughts stamp set. It's right here. It's Positive Thoughts, and it's in the mini catalog. It's a great stamp set. Okay, so let's get started. The kit, I'll step you through the dimensions for the kit, for the paper. Sorry. Okay, so our base is going to be Coastal Cabana. And we're going to cut this at 4 1/4 by 11 and score at 5 1/2. Then we have the basic gray layer, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and a Coastal Cabana 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. The Designer Series paper, and this one is from the 2019 to 2021 in color 6 by 6 inch pack. And you'll notice that I have 2 pieces of paper. This one is going to be for my envelope, so I'm going to put that aside, and this one is going to go here. And then you've got the Whisper White for the inside, which is 5 1/4 by 4, and a scrap piece of paper to cut out the daisy. Now let me give you the dimensions on the Designer Series paper, because I realize I didn't give it to you. It's 1 1/2 by 5 1/4, so that'll layer up on this. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and do the quick layering of the Designer Series paper onto the Coastal Cabana cardstock. Okay. So use the adhesive of your choice. I'm using the Tombow liquid glue. And I'm just going to lay this on here. So I noticed that mine is a little off here, so I'm just going to take my paper snips and cut the excess. Okay, so that's ready to be adhered. So I'm going to take this and put some adhesive, and we're going to add this to the basic gray. Okay, so this piece is ready to be adhered to the base. So we're going to put the glue on the basic gray and adhere it onto the Coastal Cabana. Okay, so let's go ahead. While we're here with the glue, I'm going to adhere the Designer Series paper onto the envelope. Now I just put down my silicone mat. This is great to have because you don't want to get glue on your paper that you're working on, because then it may stick onto your card and ruin that, so we don't want to do that. So we're going to add, oops, don't get glue all over me. We're going to add the glue onto here, and we're going to adhere this onto the back of the envelope. And then we'll take our paper snips again, and we'll just cut around the excess, cut off the excess. Okay, so that's done. So I think it really makes a difference to embellish your envelopes. Now, if you wanted to do the entire flap, I would do, I think this is 2, you can cut a piece that's about 2.5 by 6, and that will cover the entire flap. But what I usually do is whatever leftover designer series paper I have, regardless of the size, I'll either put it along the flap or I'll add a strip onto the side here. So or you could just take a stamp and stamp the flap or the back. You don't want any naked envelopes. Okay, so let's work on the inside of the card. Okay, so we're going to take the daisy lane, and I'm going to take the smaller of the daisies. Okay, and I'm going to take Coastal Cabana, and what I'm going to do is stamp off. That's when you ink up your stamp, then stamp off on a piece of paper, and then stamp onto your card. And that'll give you a lighter image. Okay, put that there. And we're going to use, It's Your Time to Shine from the stamp set. Okay, I'm going to take this and my block, and I'm going to stamp it with the a darker color, which is the Pretty Peacock. And I always check to make sure I don't have ink going across here, because then it'll transfer onto here. And I will just stamp down, hold it for a few seconds, and come right back up. Perfect. Now, I don't know if you've seen the chamois that we have. This is what I use to clean my stamps. What I would suggest when you're using the chamois is stamp off the excess ink on a scrap piece of paper, and then clean, just wipe it along the chamois, and it cleans it. It's candy to have. Okay, so my inside of the card is ready to be stamped on, to be adhered, I'm sorry. Okay, so we're going to add some adhesive and make sure I'm facing the right way. Because, you know, I'm sure it's happened to you guys as well, where you put it upside down or something. So we don't want that to happen. Okay, so the card's almost done. We have a few more things to do. Okay, so I decided to go with Smile from this Daisy Lane stamp set. And I've already gone ahead and stamped it, and I've punched it out with my tailored tag punch. Okay. And what I'm going to do is add some dimensionals to the back of it. Okay, and I'll put this aside for now. All right, so let's do some daisies. So we're going to stamp the daisies in Coastal Cabana, and this is the larger one, the larger daisy. When you're stamping your daisy, a good piece of advice is to stamp them up and down. So I kind of marked my stamp here with these two, I used a Sharpie, so that I know when I stamp it, I am going to go up and down, and it'll make sense when we go to punch. So hold it down for a few seconds so the ink transfers onto the paper, and lift up. Okay, and we'll do that again. and done. Now you're going to take your punch, your daisy punch, and now when you put it through, there's not as much fiddling. It's pretty easy. It lines up very nicely. So we have one, move it over, and punch the second one. Okay. All right, and that's your daisy. So now what we're going to do is take a bone folder, and you're gently, because you don't want to rip the petals, and you kind of want to just bend them back a little bit. Okay, and it gives it a little dimension. Okay, then we're going to take a little glue and put it in the center. Okay. And I'm using the liquid glue because it'll give you some time to adjust your petals so that they fill in the holes there. I'll lift it up. Okay, and it buys me time to move it around. Okay, great. Now, the center of my daisy is the Perennial Essence Floral Centers. They're so cute. They're nice and fuzzy kind of, and it really, I think, makes a difference. So we're going to take off the release paper. I'm going to just use my paper piercing tool, or you could use take your pick tool. Yeah, easier said than done, huh? Okay. All right, there we go. And you're just going to put that in the center of the daisy. Then we're going to take a dimensional, and we'll just add it to the back of the daisy. And now we're ready to assemble our card. Okay, so let's lay down the daisy first. And I kind of put it centered a little bit. And then we're going to add our greeting. And there's your card. Very easy. That hardly took any time. And we have a coordinating envelope. So I hope you enjoy this card. And if you're interested in purchasing any of the products that I've used on this video, got the Daisy Lane stamp set, the Daisy Punch, or the tailored tags, the centers, or the cardstock. If you want to make a bunch of them on your own, just head on over to my online store at teresastampsforjoy.stampinup.net, and you can place your order there. Placing your order, please use the host code shown in the video and you'll get the card kit for free. It does not include stamped images, only cut paper. So check the description box below for a list of the items to order, or feel free to contact me at teresastampsforjoy.gmail.com. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up and happy stamping!